Hey guys, welcome to Quantum Change. I'm Natasha Williams and I'm a life transformation specialist. And what I want to discuss with you today is, can I ever leave? Can I ever get out of this abusive relationship that I'm in? Can I ever get out of the cycle of abuse that I have been stuck in? Can I ever get myself to a point where I actually start enjoying life again? Because you will have tried so many things that you start thinking that there's nothing else more to life and that it's just a struggle. And deep in the back of your mind, you know that you either don't deserve it, or you know that there is something else out there, something's missing, and you don't know what exactly it is. Now, just on a side, I have very bad sinus. I'm telling you right now, it comes from stress of moving. It comes from emotional stress. So nothing that I've done so far is alleviated the sinus except for me to actually do the work that I need to do on myself. And it is a direct consequence of me leaving my narcissistic relationships. And it's an accumulation of unresolved emotional trauma. So I'm letting you know that there are body effects that you get from leaving the relationship, but I would much rather have a stuffy nose than to be dumped upon day in, day out and feel like I'm going to lose my soul and lose my life. Moving on. Okay, so when you are in a relationship where you are with somebody who is constantly projecting their own negativity and their own inadequacies onto you, because at the end of the day, they are their inadequacies. You might be able to see it, but you get to a point where you actually don't want to fight it anymore. You just keep quiet and you accept that what they're saying is what they're saying. But it slowly starts to seep in. Your mind is very fertile. And if I had to say, it's like soil. And if you just kept watering, if you planted some seeds and you just kept watering those seeds, eventually something is going to grow out of it, even if you don't believe it. And so when you are hearing somebody day in, day out, telling you how grateful you need to be for them being there, how grateful you should be because nobody else would love them, and they start picking on all of your talents, all of the things that you are good at, and saying, well, it was luck, or it was a once-off chance, nobody else would do it, or I could do better than that, or is that all you could do, or they just completely negate it. After a while, they start minimizing the good stuff about you and highlighting the bad stuff, and after a while, it is going to sink in. I always knew that I was better than what that person told me I was. I'm not saying I always thought I was better than anybody else. I just am that person that is always uplifting somebody else, looking for the good in them, because when you inspire somebody, great things can happen. And when you're with somebody who insists that they need to constantly be inspired, and the only way they're going to get there is by pushing you down, then it's going to take it out of you at some stage. And what narcissists do is they start cutting you off from your friends, your family, your colleagues, anywhere where you are getting energy, so that you are becoming completely more and more and more reliant on them for your life support system, even though what they're actually doing is sucking you dry. So what you need to start doing is start getting quiet. Now, what I personally did was I started noticing what that other person was actually doing. Instead of taking it personally, I just started observing. It wasn't a direct intention hit at me. It was the way that he was around everybody else as well. It was the way he was around past relationships. It was the nice thing about narcissists is that they are very predictable. I can guarantee you that the behavior they have with you, they had with somebody else. And their behavior gets worse over time. It never gets better. It never improves. It might go one step forward, two steps back, but you will always be fighting against that person. And so I started separating myself from being in a unity where I saw us as an us relationship, to saying, well, this is the person that I found myself with. I wasn't that person before I met this person. I was somebody else. I had energy, I had goals, I had ambition, I was going places. And since I've been with this person, this is how my life has become. And so you start separating yourself mentally. The other thing I started realizing was that if I started leaning too much on him for support, he would use that against me. And in the end, the support actually was completely reversed, and I was getting absolutely no support at all. And so I would actually stop looking for support from the person who isn't able to provide it and start getting support from somebody else. And as you start doing that, as you start getting insight and awareness about how that person operates and how it's just that specific individual, you start realizing what you've actually signed up for. When you sign up to marry somebody or to be in a relationship with them, it doesn't mean you've signed away your right to be living as an individual. It just means that you've decided to cohabitate and try and make a life together. Now, if one person is giving and the other is taking, and there's no equal give and no equal take, the system is skewed and it's going to sink like the Titanic. So you need to stop putting all your energy in a non-observable way and start pulling yourself back so that you can start becoming whole again from the inside. So I would suggest that you start educating yourself, know your rights, start listening to people when they do uplift you, because there is value. There is never a person who's all bad or all good. There's always something in between. A narcissist will always tell you how great they are, and they will never admit to any failure that they ever have done, whether it's true or not true, because they cannot possibly be wrong. They will project all their wrongs onto you. And when you get to that point of strength, I'm going to tell you, I discovered that a person will never leave until they hit a line that that other person has crossed. Now, unfortunately, and it's like with smoking, you might have to see somebody dying in hospital before you'll actually decide to quit smoking, or you might see somebody with cancer, or you might decide that you're coughing too much. But somewhere along the line, there will be a line that you draw in your mind that actually is a very clear boundary. And the question you need to ask yourself is, how far down that rabbit hole do I need to go before I allow myself to stop this abuse? And that is entirely up to you. It's not up to the other person. And even just having that decision starts putting you on the path to looking for ways to see, when is that line going to happen so that I can leave? Because then you're actively looking for how you can get out of that relationship, rather than seeing that you are a victim and hoping that things will keep changing and it'll get better over time. And maybe if you wait for your kids to grow up, then things will be different, or you'll have more freedom, or whatever it is. And so my suggestion to you is to empower yourself, find support, find out what is it that you want from life. I have put together a course on dealing with narcissistic relationships. It's extremely in-depth. It's over 3 hours of video. It has worksheets, it has guided meditations that will help you get clear on why you attracted the narcissist in the first place. It will help you get clear on what it is that is keeping you stuck. It'll help you also leave the relationship as well as heal from it afterwards. Because these are all aspects that you need different things along the way as you go along, and there is nobody out there in your circle that will understand what you're going through, because they probably are also so stuck in that same thought form. They probably are narcissists, or they're also dealing with emotional relationships and they don't know how to deal with it. So you want to go and learn from people that actually have been there and know how to get out, so that you can also get advice, get input, get insight from other people that have been there and have done it. So to answer the original question, can you ever get out? Can you ever leave? There have been people that have been married for 60 years to a narcissist that have left. There have been people that have married for 6 months that said, I can never leave. It is all up to you. If you decide that you don't want to handle abuse anymore, that your life is more important than somebody else's life, that is the turnaround time. So decide what your cutoff is, and then don't worry about whether you can or can't, because your path will lead you to leaving anyway when you realize that you do not need to put up with abuse. It's not written in the charts. It's not ordained that you be struggling for the rest of your life. In fact, if anybody came into your life, it is to be a teacher to you, to show you your own shortfalls. And once you've learned from them, you don't need to learn from them again. So you don't need that person anymore. And if they pull emotional blackmail on you to say that they're going to kill themselves, well, then it's a matter of, are you in a war? Are you going to be shot, or are you going to shoot the person? And at the end of the day, they will be insistent on pulling you down in any case. If you go back to them, they're going to ensure that you die first. Whether it's physically or metaphysically and spiritually, some way you're going to lose a part of yourself. And that person hasn't lost anything. They've just lost their narcissistic supply. I hope this helps you. And please, if you like my videos, please do subscribe. I am busy putting that course together. It's already uploaded. I'm just waiting to get the landing page right so you can actually click on it to access it. But it is affordable for everybody. Keep a lookout. I'll be posting it in future videos. But in the meantime, I hope to hear from you. Please comment if there's anything else you'd like to know about narcissism, about your situation, how you can get out of it. Please share so I can help everybody else that is also dealing with it. I really wish that I'd had that information available myself. There wasn't anybody, I didn't even know what I was living with. It took me years to actually understand what I was dealing with, that it actually was a trait. And all the other pieces started fitting into place. So it is of value, and there are so many people out there that can benefit. And one of my favorite sayings is, evil flourishes when good men do nothing. So even if you know somebody who's struggling in a relationship, share the information, share it with them so they can see. There are so many videos out there, but I think that getting everybody's perspective kind of helps the puzzle pieces fit and fall into place. I hope you have a good week.